Edwards Air Force Base, California, home to the Air Force Flight Test Center, and just about every aircraft the Air Force has, and quite a few the Air Force doesn't have. Welcome to the home of the Muroc Model Masters, a club of 130 locals who enjoy the challenge of flying remote control airplanes. Almost every base in the Air Force has these sorts of flying clubs nearby, but the club just outside the Edwards gates has something most other clubs don't: a natural runway spanning more than 3 square miles.
Well, as you can see, we have just basically unlimited any direction you want to land or take off for the most part.
The planes these Model Masters fly come in all shapes, sizes, and pilots.
I had the head and it fitted on that body, so I put it on there. And then when I put it on there, my wife said I had to call it Bah Humbug.
It's a Cadet Senior. It's a GB. It's a real short fuselage. The real airplane was only 15 feet long.
It's a World War I fighter.
This is a Zen 3 pattern model.
Flying for most of these pilots is a hobby, but for Tech Sergeant Donnie Wright, it's more.
I did RC airplanes for a hobby for about 10 years, and then it started to get boring kind of just flying around, so I got into competitions to have something to strive for.
A passion for flying that started here on the dry lake beds at Edwards.
I always wanted to fly RC airplanes. Where I grew up in Delaware, they were never available. And in 1987, I was stationed here at Edwards, driving to work one day. I saw one flying out here, drove out here, and that's the rest of the story.
The hobby is not that expensive, at least to begin. A simple model aircraft and everything that goes with it will only cost about $300. But most of these flyers have invested a lot more.
Probably about $2,500.
$1,500 maybe right now. I've had more than that though.
Around 600 an airplane. Figured that out by 7.
More than I want my wife to know.
But these easy-looking aerobatics are deceptive. RC flying is difficult. Most flyers say it's not a question of if you'll crash, but when.
Oh, I've crashed many times. That comes with a hobby.
Oh yes, have I ever.
This crash, oh, that was a beaut.
I build them real easy. I have a hard time flying them.
Take it off toward the face!
And RC flying isn't just a man thing. Terry Hemmis flies her trainer almost every weekend.
I started watching and he started teaching and I bought a plane and been hooked ever since. That's been almost 3 years. But it took me a while to solo. Wasn't getting enough airtime. Gotta have the airtime.
It may not be a test flight for an FA-22, but it can be just as white-knuckle tense. And for people traveling through the Edwards area who see a tiny dot in the sky moving really fast, that tiny dot could well be grown men and women playing with model airplanes. Very fast model airplanes. Staff Sergeant Marty Rush, Air Force News, Edwards Air Force Base, California.